Right, we've got some more details on the reason why West Ham are replacing David Moyes at the end of the season. It was confirmed yesterday, wasn't it, that he will leave when his contract expires in the summer and that Julian Lopetegui appears lined up to lead the team next season. Our chief reporter, Kaveh Solhekol, joins me now. Look, Kaveh, I know he's just not had his contract renewed, but the way that this has gone about still doesn't sit right for somebody that's got them a European trophy, 6th, 7th in the table a couple of years ago. So why are we feeling like this about David Moyes at the moment? How have we got to this situation?
No, you're totally right, because one of the things that people are really talking about in football at the moment is the fact that why have West Ham decided to move on from David Moyes, considering what he's achieved at the club. A lot of people are saying that. But I think West Ham supporters are more conflicted. You know, you can't just say they all feel one way, because supporters all feel and think different things. But I think, in general, on the one hand, of course, they are grateful for what David Moyes has done and the fact that they've won a European trophy. But on the other hand, they're not enjoying watching the kind of football that is being served up at the moment. And I think as far as the club's thinking goes, I think what they feel is that change is needed, and now is the right time to appoint a new head coach. And the decision to move on from David Moyes was made reluctantly, but I think it's been made from the heart and with the best interests of West Ham at heart. Now, he was offered a new contract because things were going well in the first half of the season, and he was offered a new contract, I think, towards the end of December. But he didn't sign that contract for 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, he told us that he'd been given this new contract as well. So it's kind of like, why hasn't it been signed? So there was questions.
He mentioned it in a news conference, but obviously he felt that there was an issue and he didn't want to sign that contract at the time. But since the turn of the year, West Ham have only won 4 of 23 games. And if you had a league table since Christmas, I think West Ham would be 17th. And West Ham just felt that they gave David Moyes as long as they could in the hope that he would turn the situation around. But things have been getting worse, not better. And also, I think there were some issues during the January transfer window. I think there was a feeling that, you know, lots of deals were there to be done. But David Moyes, I think, only really wanted Calvin Phillips. That is the player he wanted. And that's the deal that they ended up doing on loan from Manchester City, and of course that deal has not worked out. Right. One other thing that I don't think has worked in David Moyes' favour is his relationship with the technical director, Tim Steidten. Now, we know, for instance, that he's sort of persona non grata from the training ground at the moment and the dressing room. And I think the relationship with Steidten isn't working, and obviously that's a concern going forward.
I mean, in terms of David Moyes, he's 61 years of age. He's got a fantastic CV, it has to be said, within the game. So this certainly won't be the end for him, will it? He'll go on to something else, right? Yeah,
look, I think at the moment, in the short term, I think he's playing a little bit of golf, trying to get a bit of peace and quiet. But knowing the kind of manager he is, I'm sure he'll be back, and I'm sure he will have offers. It's undeniable. Nobody can argue with what he's done at West Ham. If you were to say to West Ham supporters when he took over, when they were, you know, fighting relegation, that they would win a European trophy, that they would qualify for Europe 3 seasons in a row, they would not have believed that that was possible. But he's achieved that. But the style of football. You know, fans are very, very demanding.
But the
they want to win, and they want good football as well.
It makes, you know, in terms of West Ham, is David Moyes a bit of a victim of his own success? Because they were punching above their weight, you'd have to say. 6th place finish, a 7th place finish, getting a European trophy as well. They were punching above their weight. And I know that when they got that trophy, they dipped in the Premier League, and David Moyes was really concerned about that. But it feels like they were, you know, kind of punching above their weight.
I mean, they did very well to win that trophy, but that season they finished 14th in the Premier League. So the league form wasn't great. But you're right, I do think David Moyes has been a victim of his own success. You know, expectations have been raised. But the bottom line is, results have not been good enough this season. West Ham have been losing games 5-0, 5-0, letting in 70 goals in a league season. That is just unacceptable if you are a West Ham supporter. Look, I think he will get a great send-off at the London Stadium at the weekend. Of course, West Ham supporters are grateful for what he's achieved. The club are being criticised for the way this has been handled. We could spend a lot of time talking about that as well, but the bottom line is that he's leaving at the end of his contract. And also, a new man is going to come in. I think we're being told 80% chance that it's going to be Julian Lopetegui. Now, he's somebody who's got a fantastic CV, managed Real Madrid, Spain, top 4 finishes consistently with Sevilla, won a European trophy with Sevilla as well. I think the football may be more expansive, more modern, and more exciting to watch. But maybe it won't work out. Maybe in a few months' time, people will be saying West Ham should have kept hold of David Moyes. This is a decision that West Ham have made, and I think is a decision that should be judged in 12 months' time, not straight away.
All right, Kaveh, thank you very much.